All right, everyone, buckle up because we are diving into a world where everything is absolute chaos, crumbling buildings, and some seriously freaky creatures roaming around. Our protagonist, Chen Yong, is absolutely losing it, sprinting for his life and screaming that he is dead. He is totally dead. But wait, flashback time? Our boy casually tells us he was about to munch on some spicy strips when zombies popped up, so he just stashed them. Meanwhile, back in the present, this mysterious redhead girl is looking pretty shocked, clutching her futuristic gun. And our protagonist, ever the charmer, is just like, hey, wanna try some? Offering her the spicy strips in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. The girl, Lai Lu, is thinking these things look super weird, probably poisonous, but man, she's so hungry. She hasn't eaten in 2 days, and despite the suspicious color, they smell absolutely incredible. The struggle is real, folks. Screw it, she says. She will eat now and worry about the poison later. You gotta admire that dedication to food. And just like that, she tears into the bag, shoving those spicy strips right into her mouth. You can practically see her cheeks puff up, savoring every single bite of that mysterious snack. Oh man, the relief and joy on her face. She exclaims it's so good, the perfect mix of flour, oil, and seasonings. Our boy Chen Yong just smirks, confirming that in a post-apocalyptic world, nobody turns down food, especially something this good. Another flashback. Before all this, our protagonist was just an ordinary corporate drone, stuck in a dull office job like everyone else. Then, a few days ago, his life went completely sideways when he was suddenly fired, losing his only source of income. He walked out of that building, defeated, carrying a box of his belongings, looking totally lost and without hope. Back at his place, he carefully cuts open the box, probably expecting more sad memories. But instead, he finds this strange ring inside a snack box he ordered online. Talk about an unexpected bonus. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he slides the ring onto his finger. The moment that ring goes on, the world glitches out. A strange, powerful sensation takes over him. And just like that, he finds himself in a completely ruined, apocalyptic world, surrounded by a terrifying giant rat and skeletons. This rat is huge and menacing, with glowing red eyes. Definitely not the kind of pet you want to find in your living room. Our boy is absolutely freaking out, yelling about a corpse and a giant rat, completely disoriented and wondering where the heck he is. Before he can even process it, that monstrous rat lunges, ready to tear him apart. He screams in pure terror, wishing he could just go home right now. Suddenly, a burst of power erupts around him, and he vanishes in a flash of light. Just as quickly as he left, he is back in his own room, sitting on the floor, dazed and confused. He looks around, still reeling from the experience, trying to make sense of what just happened. He finally realizes the truth. This mysterious ring lets him jump between his reality and that apocalyptic world. He puts his hand to his chin, deep in thought, connecting the dots from all the motion comics he has watched. And then it hits him. This is his chance, a golden opportunity to get rich by trading between the two worlds. Fresh food for resources, easy money. He imagines himself confidently striding between the two realities, a literal bridge between worlds. And oh boy, he envisions himself at the absolute peak of life, swimming in gold, surrounded by beautiful women. Our boy is dreaming big. Back to the present, Lai Lu has completely devoured the spicy strips, leaving not a single crumb. She looks incredibly guilty, almost tearful, admitting that she finished it all. She sheepishly apologizes, saying they were just too delicious to stop. Our protagonist, still smiling, tells her it is fine. Chen Yong explains he belongs to an organization that has plenty of food, but lacks other supplies, so he is out here trading. Lai Lu is genuinely stunned, asking if there's actually a group that isn't starving. Our boy just grins, implying he is the source. Her eyes literally sparkle with delight. She sees him as her new savior, a constant source of delicious food. She eagerly offers her services, saying she can help him find anything he wants to trade. And her commission? Just 15 packs of those amazing spicy strips a month. Our protagonist considers the offer, a slight smile playing on his lips, but he admits he's still a bit wary since he doesn't know anything about her. Lai Lu immediately asks what he wants to know. He asks for her name, and she tells him it's Lai Lu. He then asks her age, which she clearly finds a little invasive. Classic Chen Yong. She hesitantly reveals she's 19. Can you believe it? Chen Yong is utterly shocked, pointing out that she's way too well-fed for a 19-year-old living in an apocalypse. Dude, read the room. He quickly clears his throat, realizing he might have gone too far with his comments. He decides to seal the deal with her, offering his hand, hinting at a partnership. Lai Lu is absolutely thrilled, pumping her fists and instantly calling him boss. Man, that food had an effect. Our protagonist, Chen Yang, smirks. He knows he just secured a loyal and very capable ally. Lai Lu is practically radiating happiness, surrounded by imaginary spicy strips. She knows this means a full stomach, every single meal. Chen Yang tells her to lead the way to her camp, and she happily agrees, ready to show him around. But suddenly, a grotesque zombie ambushes Chen Yang from behind, screaming right into his ear. The zombie launches a full-on slide tackle, sending our boy flying. Chen Yang is totally caught off guard, thinking seriously this guy even knows how to ambush. He panics, thinking he just got here and is already about to die. Not how he pictured his grand entrepreneurial adventure. He looks up dazed and sees a wisp of smoke rising in the distance. Hope surges. It's smoke from cooking, meaning a human settlement. He steels himself and starts running towards it. But just as he picks up speed, he trips over a rock. Classic Chen Yang luck. He cries out in pain and fear as he tumbles, his body flailing. He spins wildly in the air, gravity doing its thing. He lands with a painful thud, hitting the ground hard. Before he can even recover, a menacing zombie is right over him. He thinks to himself, I swear I want randomly Ice Kai again. He screams in pure terror, eyes wide as the zombie closes in. But then Lai Lu, the badass, lifts her rifle, taking aim. She fires a precise shot, the bullet tearing through the air. The bullet flies true, straight towards its target. It strikes the zombie directly in the head, splattering green blood. Our boy is still pinned down, hugging the zombie that tackled him, looking absolutely horrified. The zombie is practically snuggling up to him, its nasty head wound bleeding green. Gross. Lai Lu, ever efficient, cycles her rifle, preparing for the next wave. She unleashes a volley of shots, taking down more approaching zombies with deadly accuracy. The rest of the zombies fall like dominoes, clearing the immediate area and leaving a path. Chen Yang is still screaming, stuck in that awkward embrace with the now dead zombie. Lai Lu stands over him, the silent hero, having just saved his ungrateful butt. She asks him with a deadpan expression how long he plans on hugging that thing. Lol. He finally realizes he is still holding the zombie, his face a mixture of shock and disgust. Yuwa. He yells, don't you touch me, pushing the zombie away in a panic. He shoves the zombie off him, scrambling back to his feet. He turns to Lai Lu, a grateful but slightly embarrassed smile on his face, muttering a quick thank you. But before he can relax, Lai Lu points her gun right at him, demanding his name. Business time, no slacking. He immediately introduces himself as Chen Yang. Yang as in sunshine, hands up in surrender. He tries to play dumb, asking if she would believe him if he said he just got lost and wandered over. He knows she won't. Lai Lu calls him out instantly, saying she clearly heard him talking about traveling between worlds just moments ago. Busted. Our boy knows he can't tell her the full truth, thinking she would definitely believe he's crazy. He's in a tight spot now, but before he can try another lie, Lai Lu suddenly sniffs the air. What's that delicious smell, she asks. Oh no, she's onto his spicy strips. Before our boy Chen Yang could even try another lie, Lai Lu cuts him off and says, no way, buddy. She clearly heard him talking about traveling between worlds just moments ago. Our girl Lai Lu brings our protagonist to what she calls her camp, but our boy Chen Yang is thinking to himself, this is worse than a slum. He is absolutely shell-shocked by what he is seeing. He tries to fake a smile, act like everything is normal, but inside his brain is short-circuiting. The reality of this new world is hitting him hard. He remembers the sheer devastation of his own planet, Blue Star. A cataclysm where tens of thousands of nuclear bombs wiped out half its population. And not only that, these bombs completely changed the entire ecosystem, turning what was once a vibrant world into the wasteland it is now. This world is utterly broken. The memory flashes before his eyes, a world consumed by fire and destruction. The echoes of the past still haunt him. Our boy is still reeling from his own world's tragedy, trying to process where he even is right now. But the past is the past, and Lai Lu is here, opening a metal door to what appears to be her home. The door creaks open slowly. She walks in, rifle still in hand, telling him, I'm back. She clearly runs this place. She casually tosses her duffel bag onto a nearby surface. It lands with a heavy thump, suggesting it carries some weight. Lai Lu explains there's barely any gold or silver around, and no one even bothers collecting it because it's completely useless now. Our protagonist listens intently, a thought already brewing in his mind. Our boy Chen Yang sits down, ready to open his own duffel bag. He thinks, if I'm here, I might as well try to find something valuable for myself. And get this, he unzips his bag, revealing it's absolutely packed with shiny, glittering gold bars. Talk about a contrast. He instantly lights up, staring at the gold, completely amazed by its sparkle. He thinks, whoa, so shiny. He knows this is going to be big. As they walk through the dusty streets, other survivors watch them. The man behind them eyes Chen Yang suspiciously, wary of the newcomer. More people glare from the shadows, their faces grim and untrusting. This world breeds suspicion. Lai Lu notices his unease. She tells him not to be nervous. It's just normal for people to be wary of outsiders in their camp. She invites him to her place to rest a bit. And our boy, with a cheeky grin, thinks about how he's looking forward to resting in a pretty girl's home. The metal doors to her place creak open again, revealing a stark, dark interior. This is her humble abode. Inside, her home is Spartan. Bare walls, a simple bed, a makeshift desk. Our boy thinks to himself, your lifestyle is pretty simple. His face contorts in pure shock and disbelief. This is far from what he expected from a pretty girl's home. Lai Lu tells him to have a seat. She's standing, looking down at him as he kneels by his duffel bag. She pours him a cup of water, telling him not to look down on Gray Rat District D just because it's a small camp. She's got pride in her home. He accepts the cup from her, their hands briefly touching. He looks a little flustered but appreciative. Our boy smiles up at her, a hint of blush on his face. This girl has definitely caught his attention. Now sitting on her bed, holding his drink, he points at his duffel bag, about to drop a bombshell. Lai Lu's jaw drops as our protagonist tells her that what she considers trash, the gold in his bag, goes for 800 a gram where he's from. She's utterly confused, scratching her head. She tells him that before the Great Cataclysm, those things were valuable, but not anymore. She just doesn't understand. She points out what's really valuable in their world. Clean water, good food, a rifle, and ammunition. Practical things for survival. Our boy, Chen Yang, gets a sly grin on his face. He has an idea, a big one. He looks down at his duffel bag with renewed purpose. He unzips his bag, and a glowing red light emanates from within. Something interesting is about to be revealed. He pulls out snacks, instant noodles, and canned goods from his bag. These are pre-cataclysm, untouched by their world's scarcity. Lai Lu's eyes practically pop out of her head. She gasps, completely overwhelmed by the sight of so much precious food. Our boy, Chen Yang, makes her an offer. If this deal works out, 1/10 of the food in this bag will be her cut on top of her commission. A generous offer in this world. She repeats 1/10, her mind racing with the implications. She looks at the food, then at him, clearly conflicted but tempted. Lai Lu voices her concerns, saying that using precious food to trade for useless gold feels like a huge loss. But our boy just tells her to do as he says. He stands up, entrusting everything to her. He tells her he'll wait right here for her to come back. He's putting a lot of faith in her. Lai Lu gets fired up. She declares, "Got it, boss," and promises she definitely won't betray his trust. Her loyalty is instantly earned. She slings her rifle over her shoulder, ready for action. She means business. She walks out the door, telling him she'll be back as soon as she can. Our boy watches her go, hoping his risky plan pays off. Our boy thinks to himself that this bag of snacks cost him his last 100 yuan. He knows this deal absolutely has to go through. He lies back on the bed, bored out of his mind. No internet, no signal, nothing to do in this desolate world. His eyes drift to the wall where old newspapers are plastered. He asks himself, this is a newspaper? He's curious. He sits up, his gaze fixed on the newspapers, reading the headlines, trying to piece together the history of this place. He reads a date, year 2235, Common Era. His mind races. This is way in the future. A terrifying vision flashes before him. The Great Cataclysm, nuclear bombs exploding. The truth of this timeline begins to dawn on him. He sees more horrors. Gene pollution, a scientist screaming in agony as a DNA strand glows eerily. This world has suffered unspeakable tragedies. And the final horror, zombies roaming everywhere. A post-apocalyptic nightmare. 1 hour later, the full realization hits him like a truck. He sits up, jaw agape. He is 200 years in the future on Blue Star. What a shocking reveal. Now what is he going to do? Our boy Chen Yang was in absolute agony. A terrifying red light erupting around him as the gene mutation from the wasteland tech went into full effect. He collapsed, writhing on the ground, a blinding flash of light exploding from his hand. The pain almost unbearable as his body was forcibly changing. The sheer torment made him cry out, thinking to himself that every inch of him hurt so much, like he was being torn apart from the inside. He flipped over, clutching his chest. The pain so intense it felt like every single muscle was being ripped and shredded. Red, swirling energy engulfed him completely. radiating from his core as the agonizing transformation consumed him. He screamed, a raw, primal sound, his body convulsing as the enhancement potion worked its magic, or rather its torture. More sharp, jagged bursts erupted from his back, a visible sign of the profound changes happening within him. This was no ordinary upgrade, folks. Finally, the intense surges of pain began to subside, leaving his hand clenching, the sharp energy receding back into him. He slowly pushed himself up, shirtless and panting, leaning heavily on the desk, exhausted but alive. The ordeal was finally over. He looked around, still catching his breath, wondering if it was finally over. He was in awe of his newly chiseled physique. Staring at his reflection, he couldn't believe his eyes, asking himself if this incredibly muscular body was really his own. He flexed, admiring his new gains, even boasting that these muscles could rival Arnold Schwarzenegger's. Talk about an upgrade. He chuckled, realizing his head didn't get pointy like he imagined, concluding that the wasteland tech was insanely strong, even for the lowest tier. He started dreaming big, wondering if a higher-tier potion would turn him into a one-punch man. Our boy was already thinking about becoming unstoppable. Suddenly, a familiar voice called out, asking him to open the door. It was his flatmate, and he quickly responded that he was coming. He opened the door to Shuya, a D-list actress who also happened to be his flatmate, who apologized for forgetting her key. She seemed a little flustered. Our boy, still shirtless, casually told her there was no need to be polite. They were roommates after all. He was totally unfazed. Shuya blushed, clearly noticing his impressive new physique, a silent acknowledgement of his transformation. The story flashes back to Chen Yang in the wasteland, spotting something shiny and immediately getting a greedy look on his face. This is where he got the gold from. He hoarded the gold, grinning like a madman, declaring that if the wasteland hadn't given birth to him, the long night of eternity would never end. Our boy loves his treasure. Lai Lu, the fiery redhead, caught him in the act and reminded him that the food he gave her was worth far more than the gold, and she took the liberty of a trade. She revealed that she traded the food for a Tier 1 enhancement potion for him, explaining its low grade but high purity and completely risk-free. Lai Lu pointed out that he was just an ordinary person, not an enhanced one, making it clear he needed this upgrade. She told him that with the potion, dealing with low-level zombies wouldn't be a problem. This was his ticket to survival in the apocalypse. Lai Lu sternly advised him that danger was everywhere out there, and he couldn't rely on luck forever, pressing the potion into his hand for his own safety. Chen Yang, trying to sound important, cleared his throat and boasted that his organization was powerful and safe, but still accepted the potion with a thanks. He zipped up his bag, now full of the gold bars he snagged from the wasteland. His treasure was secure. Our boy declared their first trade a success, and told Lai Lu he was heading back home for now. He promised to come back tomorrow to settle her monthly salary. Business as usual, even in the apocalypse. With a casual farewell, our boy was off, leaving the wasteland behind. Lai Lu watched him go, a suspicious glint in her eyes. She thought he was full of secrets, traveling alone through the dangerous wasteland without a scratch. But she shrugged it off, accepting the money from their trade and musing that in this wasteland, everyone had their secrets. She took a bite of the food Chen Yang gave her, her eyes widening in surprise at how delicious it was. Her face lit up with pure joy. The food was so tasty, and she decided that as long as he kept supplying her, nothing else mattered. Back in the wasteland, our boy found a secluded, ruined spot, making sure nobody was around to witness his next move. He extended his hand, and with a flash of light, the dimensional warp began, preparing to pull him back to his own time. He stood confidently in the swirling, glitching light, ready to cross dimensions once again. He reappeared in his apartment and immediately kneeled to unzip his bag, eager to check his loot. He laughed maniacally, seeing the pile of shining gold bars inside. It was real, all of it. He pulled out a bar, overjoyed, shouting that the gold was still there and he wasn't dreaming. He was rich, baby. He imagined his future, where he would simply take the gold to a shop, exchange it for cash, and become instantly wealthy. The good life was calling. In a hilarious fantasy sequence, Chen Yang was lounging in a sea of cash with beautiful women, sunglasses on, declaring that he, Chen Yang, was about to climb straight to the peak of life. He was hyped. Back to reality, he pulled out his stack of gold bars, reminding himself that he needed to control how much he exchanged to avoid scaring people. He carefully tucked his bag and the gold under his bed, hiding his secret fortune. He leaned over, pulling out not just the gold, but also the Tier 1 enhancement potion Lai Lu gave him. He had a decision to make. He sat down, the gold bars and the glowing blue potion spread before him. This was the moment of truth. He picked up the strange vial, its blue energy swirling, contemplating its power. He stared at the potion, wondering if he should actually use this enhancement. Hesitation was clear on his face. Then he remembered Lila's words. He realized his body was too weak for the apocalypse, unable to even beat a regular zombie. His expression hardened. He knew what he had to do. If he wanted to survive the wasteland, he had to strengthen himself, and now a chibi version of him appeared, utterly confused, complaining that the stupid thing didn't even come with instructions. What terrible user experience, but his determination won out. He gripped the potion, declaring he would just go for it, instructions or not. He plunged the potion into his arm, and a jolt of electric blue energy immediately spread through his veins. A close-up showed the glowing, helix-shaped core of the potion, its power being unleashed. He waited, sitting still, expecting an instant surge of power, but nothing happened right away. He looked at his arm, confused, then around the room. Was that it? Did it even work? Suddenly, his heart started beating violently, represented by a chaotic crimson blur. The real effect was just beginning. The vial shattered in his hand, unable to contain the overwhelming power as his body reacted explosively to the enhancement. Oh boy, what just happened? And just like that, after the explosion of power, our boy finds himself in a very awkward situation. Shuya is just sitting there, completely flustered, letting out a little giggle. She snaps out of it, asking him what on earth is wrong. But our boy is completely frozen in embarrassment. He just stands there as Shuya gets a little closer, admiring his newly chiseled physique and remarking that she never noticed how stacked he was before. She then starts teasing him, asking if he somehow knew her audition failed and came over to comfort her by showing off his body. Our boy's face turns beet red, completely mortified. All the blood rushes to his head as he realizes the magnitude of the situation. He quickly spins around, yelling that he just forgot to put on his clothes and tries to make a run for it. This whole power-up thing had an unexpected side effect. He knows he's totally done for. Shuya is definitely going to think he's a pervert now, and he can't shake the overwhelming embarrassment. But he shakes off the awkwardness and refocuses. No point overthinking it. He needs to quickly sell these gold bars he picked up. Stepping out into the bright city, our boy takes a moment to breathe and calm his nerves after that wild experience. As he looks around, his eyes suddenly glow with an intense golden light. Something has definitely changed. The entire cityscape distorts, stretching and focusing like a camera lens. His vision is insanely powerful now. He zeroes in on a distant sign, the details popping out with incredible clarity. He can't believe it. He can clearly read the tiny text on a sign that is hundreds of meters away. The potion really did a number on him. Our boy continues walking, the cityscape now looking normal to his enhanced vision. As he walks past two women, he overhears their conversation from what feels like an impossible distance. His hearing has improved dramatically, too. He smiles, realizing the enhancement potion truly boosted all his physical stats in an incredibly thorough way. He thinks to himself about how the wasteland's technology is still centuries ahead, even after a nuclear war, and its value is definitely worth exploring further. With his new powers and a fresh goal, our boy arrives at a gold shop. He figures a privately owned place is best for selling gold from unknown sources. He confidently strides up to the entrance, ready to make his move and get some serious cash. A sophisticated woman greets him as he walks into the opulent gold shop, ready to assist him. Our boy immediately asks to speak with the boss, stating he has a deal he wants to discuss directly with him. The woman smiles, radiating confidence, and tells him he can just tell her what he needs. She clearly thinks she can handle any customer, but our boy is not having it. He puts his bag on the counter, telling her he doesn't think she's authorized to decide this. With a dramatic flourish, he pulls out shimmering gold bars from his bag, making them sparkle on the counter. The woman's smirk immediately falters. Her eyes widen in utter shock as she stares at the gleaming gold bars. That much gold is an incredible sight. Our boy just gives her a knowing smile, asking her what she meant by saying she could handle it. Immediately, her demeanor shifts. She quickly invites him to follow her, leading him to a private meeting room. The story cuts to the Lin's Gold Shop meeting room, a place clearly reserved for important dealings. Inside, our boy is greeted by a large, friendly-looking man who introduces himself as Lin Tao, the owner of the shop. Our boy extends his hand, introducing himself as Mr. Chen, and they share a firm handshake, a mutual respect already forming. Lin Tao gestures to a seat, inviting our boy to make himself comfortable, signaling that they are ready to get down to business. Our boy confidently places the gold bars on the table, the metallic clunk echoing in the quiet room. Lin Tao looks at the gold, then back at our boy, confirming that he indeed wants to sell these bars. Our boy simply smiles and confirms, that is exactly right. Lin Tao then carefully picks up one of the gold bars to examine it closely, noting its impressive weight and shine. He explains that since the total amount is quite large, he needs to test the purity with his instruments first. He asks if our boy minds, which is standard procedure. Our boy leans back confidently, taking a sip of his drink. He tells Lin Tao to go ahead, explaining that gold from the post-apocalyptic wasteland is completely useless there, so no one would bother faking it. He's completely sure of its quality. Lin Tao starts scanning the gold bar with his device, which immediately displays an astonishing 99% purity. He continues to scan all the bars, each one showing the same perfect result, confirming their exceptional quality. Lin Tao's jaw drops. He stares at the gold in disbelief, exclaiming that they are all pure 24-karat gold. This is beyond what he expected. Our boy leans forward with a smug grin, asking Lin Tao, so how is it? He's loving this reaction. Lin Tao, still stunned, says the quality is excellent. He offers a recycling price of 400 yuan per gram. Our boy's eyes just go wide. The shock makes him drop and shatter the glass he was holding. 400 per gram? That's an insane amount. He quickly does the math in his head. 1 bar is 1 kilogram, so that's 400,000 per bar. For 3 bars, that's 2 million yuan. Our boy's eyes blaze with newfound greed and excitement. A full 2 million. His life just changed dramatically, and this is just the beginning. Lin Tao explains he needs official receipts. He's trying to play it safe, you know. Our boy, still smiling, just tells him not to worry. No receipts, but the gold source is absolutely clean. Lin Tao is not having it. He says talk is cheap, and taking such a large amount without proof is a huge risk for him. He's clearly trying to lowball our protagonist. Our boy, still holding the shattered glass from the shock of the initial price, calls out to Boss Lin. He's about to make his move. He walks over to Lin Tao, looking him dead in the eye. Our boy says he's a straightforward person and they can skip the haggling. Our boy tells Lin Tao to just name his best price directly. If he likes it, they do the deal. If he can't, then. Our protagonist pulls out a lighter, testing the gold right in front of Lin Tao. He tells him if they can't agree, they can just be friends. What a power move. Lin Tao is absolutely stunned. Lin Tao, realizing he's outplayed, reluctantly agrees to recycle the gold at 280 yuan per gram. He dramatically says he's suffering a loss, but it totals a sweet 840,000 yuan. Our boy just grins. And just like that, the money hits his account. Our boy receives a bank transfer of 840,000 yuan. He just became rich. He shakes Lin Tao's hand, a smug look on his face, declaring it a pleasure doing business. Lin Tao looks completely fleeced. Lin Tao tries to keep him hooked for future business. But our boy, cool as a cucumber, says he will think about it. Our boy walks out of the building, a huge grin on his face. He thinks about the insane amount of money he just made from only 3 gold bars. He grins, thinking if he sells all the gold bars he has stashed in his backpack, he is going to be absolutely loaded. Our boy is literally jumping for joy in the street. He yells out that he is finally rich. Look at him go. We cut to the apartment complex where our now rich protagonist, Chen Yong, lives. Here is Zhu Dandan, his flatmate, rushing out the door with toast in her mouth. She is looking for her phone. She spots her phone on the coffee table and snatches it up in a hurry. As she turns, she almost crashes right into Chen Yang, who just got home. Chen Yang looks at her, a little confused, asking why she's in such a rush. Then we meet Zaioya, their other flatmate. She explains Dandan just got home and her boss called her back for overtime. Poor Dandan. Chen Yang throws his hands up, lamenting the bad timing. He just made a small fortune and wanted to treat them to dinner. Zaioya, with a mischievous grin, tells Dandan she better eat her share too. Dandan points a warning finger at Zaioya. Dandan, ever the protective friend, gives Chen Yang a strict warning not to make any moves on Zaioya while she's away. Chen Yang plays innocent, asking if he looks like that kind of guy. Dandan waves goodbye with a cheerful smile, off to her miserable overtime. Zaioya, now alone with Chen Yang, asks excitedly where they are eating tonight. Chen Yang suggests the Regal Grand Hotel, aiming high. Zaioya is visibly taken aback. The Regal Grand? That is seriously fancy. Her eyes go wide. Chen Yang winks at her, pointing a finger, telling her see you tonight. What a smooth operator. Now Chen Yang is back inside, alone in his apartment on his hands and knees. He looks contemplative, almost overwhelmed by the sheer amount of money. He sits amidst stacks of gold bars, realizing he needs to cash out all of them today. He has a mountain of wealth on his hands. We cut to a new commercial area. Our boy is continuing his gold selling spree, and Chen Yang is still at it, selling more gold. He shakes hands with another businessman. The table is stacked high with gold bars. He makes another successful deal, shaking hands with an older, elegant woman. More gold exchanges hands. Another deal done. He waves goodbye to a woman walking out, clearly another successful transaction. Chen Yang checks his bank balance and his eyes practically pop out. A full 4 million yuan. This dude went from broke to loaded in a single day. He throws his arms up in pure elation, shouting that he has got 4 million, all thanks to the apocalypse. His phone starts ringing right then. It is his friend Guangzhai calling. Chen Yang answers the phone, looking a bit confused, as Guangzhai asks if he is in some kind of mess. Chen Yang is still on the phone, walking outside, listening intently to Guangzhai. Guangzhai is shown at his desk, working on a drawing tablet, looking serious and concerned as he talks. Guangzhai asks Chen Yang if he lost his job and suggests he use his savings for rent. What a good friend. Chen Yang looks completely flustered, demanding to know who told Guangzhai about his job loss. He wonders if the news has spread everywhere. Guangzhai begins to explain, revealing that it was Chen Yang's ex, Feng Jia, who contacted him. She thought it would be inappropriate to reach out directly. Oh, the ex-drama is brewing. Guangzhai finally tells Chen Yang that his ex, Feng Jia, still cares about him, and he wonders why they ever broke up. Man, he's such a supportive friend. Our boy Chen Yang explains that Feng Jia's mom wanted her boyfriend to buy a house in Dijin, and his family situation made that impossible. Classic drama, right? Guangzhai, clearly sympathizing, imagines Feng Jia's demanding mom as a snarling dog wearing glasses. He feels Chen Yang's pain. Chen Yang then shifts gears, asking Guangzhai how Feng Jia even found out about his job loss since they haven't spoken since the breakup. He's genuinely confused. Guangzhai reveals the truth. It was that rich brat Jiang Jinglong who told her. And get this, Jiang Jinglong is shown lounging like a king with 2 ladies, looking like the smuggest villain ever. Guangzhai drops another bombshell, explaining that Jiang Jinglong actually bought shares in Chen Yang's old company and got him fired by name, just to mess with him. What an absolute scumbag. Chen Yang is absolutely engulfed in rage. His aura practically explodes as he clenches his fist, declaring that this is very good, signaling he'll definitely get his revenge. Guangzhai, hearing the intense anger in Chen Yang's voice, quickly tries to calm him down, pleading with him not to do anything stupid. He's genuinely worried. Our boy Chen Yang, still seething but trying to sound composed, asks what Guangzhai means by stupid, insisting he's not that kind of guy. Yeah, right. Guangzhai, probably still unsure, decides it's best to end the call for now, hoping Chen Yang doesn't do anything too rash. Chen Yang manages a forced smile and a casual bye, but his mind is clearly still buzzing with thoughts of Jiang Jinglong and sweet, sweet revenge. The moment the call ends, Chen Yang's face twists in pure fury. He curses Jiang Jinglong internally, calling him utterly shameless. The rage is palpable. He then snaps out of his anger, realizing it's getting late. He needs to hurry to the hotel before he misses his appointment. Our boy Chen Yang sprints through the bustling city streets as dusk settles, rushing towards his destination. He finally arrives at the luxurious Regal Grand Hotel, a swanky spot where he expects to meet Shuya. Chen Yang checks his phone, wondering where Shuya is, as she told him she was almost there. He's looking a bit impatient. Just then, a sleek black car pulls up and screeches to a stop in front of the hotel. Chen Yang watches, curious. A long, elegant leg with a sparkling high heel emerges from the car. The reveal is imminent, and out steps Shuya, looking absolutely breathtaking with her long white hair and stylish pink jacket. She flashes a radiant smile. 2 random onlookers are completely captivated, hearts literally popping around them, wondering if Shuya is some kind of celebrity. She really turns heads. Shuya turns to Chen Yang, a playful smile on her face, asking him why he's spacing out. She's used to this kind of reaction. Chen Yang is utterly flustered, blushing deeply. He admits they've been sharing an apartment for 3 months, but he never realized she was this beautiful. He's completely charmed. Shuya, clearly enjoying the compliment, declares that she can't let Chen Yang lose face by treating her to such a fancy place. She wants to make sure she looks good for him. She then takes his arm, a confident smile on her face, and pulls him towards the entrance, while Chen Yang is still a blushing mess. Shuya gives him a gentle, knowing smile, telling him it's just basic social etiquette and asking why he's so nervous. Our boy is completely out of his depth. Inside the restaurant, perched high above the dazzling city lights, Chen Yang and Shuya are seated. A waiter presents them with the menu. Shuya elegantly takes the menu, carefully reviewing the upscale dishes available. She's ready to enjoy this fancy meal. Chen Yang places their order, and the waiter confirms it, politely taking the menus and heading off to the kitchen. Shuya, seeing what Chen Yang ordered, leans in with a look of disbelief, asking why he would order something so expensive, specifically 2 treasure crabs that cost 1,000 yuan. Chen Yang, trying to act cool, tells her to relax, claiming he's flush with cash right now and can easily afford 2 crabs. He's got a smug, happy expression, but Shuya is not buying it. She crosses her arms, unimpressed, reminding him he's been eating budget takeout every day. She warns him not to try acting rich in front of her. Chen Yang, with a mischievous grin and a shrug, finally spills the beans. His family back home got a huge demolition payout, so that's where the sudden wealth came from. Shuya immediately changes her attitude, wrapping her arm around him and joking that she won't feel guilty at all. She calls it robbing the rich to feed the poor. As they leave the restaurant, Shuya asks Chen Yang if he wants to find another place for round 2 later, still full of energy. Chen Yang agrees the food was great. Chen Yang gently declines, telling her he's really too full for more food, but he still smiles at her playfully. But just as they step out, fate intervenes. None other than Jiang Jinglong, the smug rich brat, spots Chen Yang and points, his eyes full of malice. Chen Yang looks utterly shocked, his eyes wide as he realizes who it is. Jiang Jinglong, what a horrible turn of events. Jiang Jinglong fakes surprise, sarcastically remarking on what a coincidence it is to run into Chen Yang in such a large city. His arrogance is radiating. This peacock-shirted villain then mocks Chen Yang, questioning if he truly thinks he deserves to be dining at a 5-star hotel. The disrespect is real. Chen Yang, instantly on guard, retorts by asking if the regal grand belongs to Jiang Jinglong's family too, hinting at Jiang Jinglong trying to get him kicked out like he did with his job. Jiang Jinglong just smirks, enjoying Chen Yang's reaction, confirming that Chen Yang does know exactly why he got fired. He loves being the villain. Shuya, completely oblivious to the bitter rivalry, turns to Chen Yang with a calm expression and asks if this man is his friend. Oh, honey, no. Jiang Jinglong, however, is too busy leering at Shuya, thinking what a stunning chick she is. He's already planning to expose Chen Yang as a broke loser and steal the girl right in front of him. What an absolute snake, this is gonna get messy. Jiang Jinglong, this peacock-shirted villain, just could not let it go. He turns to Shuya, telling her not to let Chen Yang fool her, continuing his pathetic attempts to drive a wedge between them. He spills all the tea, calling Chen Yang his college classmate, dirt poor, freshly fired, and someone who can barely pay rent. What a low blow. Jiang Jinglong keeps digging, accusing Chen Yang of blowing all his money just to act rich by bringing Shuya to such a high-class place. The projection is real, folks. And then the audacity. This guy actually warns Shuya that Chen Yang will dazzle her, then scam her out of both love and money. The nerve. Our boy Chen Yang has had enough. He erupts, asking Jiang Jinglong if he thinks everyone else is as low as he is. You can practically see the smoke coming out of his ears. But Shuya, our queen, just smiles. She sarcastically asks if Jiang Jinglong is kindly warning her. Oh, this man's pride is about to take a hit. Jiang Jinglong, completely missing the sarcasm, puffs out his chest. He declares himself Jiang Jinglong, chairman of Heya Sheng Games, claiming nothing upsets him more than seeing a beauty get deceived. He then pulls out a rose and his business card, attempting a grand, sleazy gesture to impress Shuya. Classic rich jerk move, right? A close-up on the card confirms it. Jiang Jinglong, chairman of Heya Sheng Games. He's really trying to flex that corporate power, but Shuya is having absolutely none of it. She bats the business card away, sending it flying, stating she's simply not interested. Talk about a cold shoulder. Jiang Jinglong is utterly shocked, but he recovers quickly, trying a different tactic. He offers Shuya a position as an ambassador for his company, promising great pay and benefits. Shuya, with a fierce glare, shuts him down hard. She declares herself Chen Yang's girlfriend and makes it clear she doesn't appreciate him bad-mouthing her man. Our boy Chen Yang looks ecstatic. And if that wasn't enough, Shuya delivers the final blow. She tells Jiang Jinglong that with a chairman like him, his company is bound to go bankrupt. Jiang Jinglong is absolutely livid, pointing at her in disbelief. Chen Yang gives Shuya a thumbs up, joking that she's quite the drama queen. Shuya winks and reminds him she's an actress after all. These two are just too good together, watching Jiang Jinglong boil in the background. Our boy Chen Yang tells Shuya not to waste time on trash, and they turn to leave arm in arm. Jiang Jinglong is left behind, fuming, practically steaming from rage. Jiang Jinglong, engulfed in metaphorical flames, curses Shuya, calling her stupid and blind for choosing Chen Yang. He's absolutely seething, utterly humiliated. He keeps ranting, calling Chen Yang a useless piece of crap and promising revenge. And get this, Chen Yang's ex-girlfriend, Feng Jia, walks into the scene, calling out to Jiang Jinglong. Feng Jia, Chen Yang's ex, walks up to Jiang Jinglong and asks him if he can take her home now. Talk about awkward timing for Jiang Jinglong. Jiang Jinglong, ever the persistent creep, tries to convince Feng Jia to go to a bar for more drinks. But she quickly shoots him down, saying it's unnecessary and she's not interested. Jiang Jinglong is stunned by her rejection. To add insult to injury, Feng Jia offers to transfer him her share of the dinner bill. Ouch, that hits harder than a punch. Jiang Jinglong stands there, utterly defeated, as Feng Jia walks away and gets into a car, leaving him behind. He calls out to her, but it's no use. Her car speeds away into the night, leaving faint lines in its wake, signifying her swift departure and Jiang Jinglong's complete rejection. He just watches her go, alone on the street, his attempts to salvage the night utterly failing. Jiang Jinglong is now truly enraged, thinking about how Feng Jia works for his company and yet dared to act so high and mighty in front of him. His ego is completely shattered. Meanwhile, Chen Yang and Shuya are walking hand in hand across a bridge under the moonlight. Shuya admits that Guy was really annoying, but Chen Yang, ever the strategist, says that thanks to running into Jiang Jinglong, he actually figured something important out. Shuya looks at him curiously, asking what he figured out. You can tell she's intrigued by what our boy is planning. Chen Yang reflects on how, after suddenly getting rich, he kept thinking about the best field to enter to build something truly big. Now, with a determined look and a clenched fist, he announces that he has decided. Oh boy, here comes a major revelation. He proclaims he is going to start his own game company and completely crush Jiang Jinglong. Shuya looks on, surprised by his bold declaration. Shuya, ever the pragmatist, warns him that starting a company is very risky and he shouldn't act on impulse. She knows the business world is tough, but Chen Yang just gives her a confident smirk, telling her to relax and enjoy the show. Our boy is about to unleash his master plan. The story cuts to a quiet apartment building under a crescent moon, establishing Chen Yang's current residence. Later, Chen Yang is in the shower, mulling over his plans. He realizes that simply swapping wasteland goods for gold might draw too much attention as his wealth grows. He knows that once his assets really take off, it could lead to investigations, so he needs a smarter approach. This leads him to the conclusion that he needs to legitimize his gains by building a proper business in this world. He steps out of the shower, drying himself off, his expression serious and determined. The gears in his mind are turning. He puts on his slippers, ready to get to work. Sitting at his computer, Chen Yang thinks about the wasteland. Aside from resources, he realizes its biggest advantage is its advanced technology. He recalls Lai Lu mentioning that it's only been 10 years since the cataclysm, meaning the technological heritage from before should still be largely intact. He is confident that if he looks carefully, he can find plenty of experts in various fields who still possess that lost knowledge. And just like that, recruitment success. He shakes hands with a new hire, offering a generous salary of 15 packs of spicy strips a month. He grins, knowing that with 200-year-ahead technology, creating revolutionary games will be an absolute breeze. All right, so after scheming his big plans, our boy Chen Yang is back in the modern world, ready to kick things into high gear. He's on the phone, getting the good news that his company registration is officially submitted. Approval is just a text message away. And just like that, a huge smile breaks across his face as he thanks whoever was on the other end, pointing to his trusty ring. Look at him go. Our boy is absolutely thrilled, doing a happy little dance. This ring is truly his lucky charm, getting things done. He literally feels like the ring is reading his mind, handing him exactly what he needs, just when he needs it. Talk about an overpowered accessory. With a triumphant fist pump, Chen Yang declares he's off to the apocalypse. He's ready to jump back into the wasteland and continue his mission. And boom, the familiar shimmering light envelops him, signaling another portal jump. Get ready for some action, folks. He reappears in the wasteland, the golden light radiating around him. Looks like a successful trip to the past or future, depending on how you see it. Our boy is back in the ruins of the wasteland. He takes a moment, the light fading, as he braces himself for what comes next. But he knows he still can't reveal his teleportation powers. So, to avoid suspicion, he plans to manually carry things to Lai Lu, maintaining the illusion. Meanwhile, back in the wasteland, someone is carefully placing a mysterious red liquid into a pack. What could this be? A finger dips into the liquid, getting a taste. A little taste test is happening. It's Lai Lu, and she's absolutely loving it, eyes closed in pure bliss. That red stuff must be some seriously delicious, rare treat. She sits there, hands pressed together, wishing she could have another pack. She's hooked on whatever that delicacy is. But then reality hits her like a truck. She's horrified, reminding herself that non-perishable sealed food is an incredibly precious resource. She looks at the food with a stern face, her inner struggle clear. She knows how vital these supplies are in this harsh world. She's doing mental math, thinking that if she rations just this one pack, it could keep her alive for over a week in a desperate situation. Survival is on her mind. Then a wave of panic washes over her, a sudden realization striking her with a loud, wait, no. She's spiraling into a nightmare, imagining a grim scene of torture. She fears Chen Yang would be punished for wasting food, believing his organization would be ruthless if he squandered resources. Completely defeated, she collapses, thinking he definitely won't come back. She believes her hopes were all just a beautiful, fleeting dream. But then suddenly the door bursts open, and who there is? None other than our boy Chen Yang, lugging a ridiculously huge stack of boxes. He struggles through the doorway, yelling for Lai Lu to come help him move his stuff. Talk about a dramatic entrance, right? Lai Lu, utterly shocked and overjoyed, screams "boss," and practically flies across the room, tackling him in a hug. The boxes go flying, exploding open in a shower of fresh produce. Everything she was just agonizing over is now scattered everywhere. The story continues. She's sprawled on top of him, tears streaming down her face, asking why he would lie to her. Her emotions are all over the place. Still crying, she explains her fears. She thought the gold he brought was useless, and that a small potion was nothing compared to vital food supplies. She truly feared he would face dire consequences. Chen Yang gently pats her head, reassuring her. He tells her not to worry because his status in his organization is very high. He explains that a single pack of food is nothing to him, and he traded for gold because he can actually use it, so he didn't lose out at all. He's trying to make her understand his power. A tearful Lai Lu finally understands, nodding. Chen Yang, ever the boss, then playfully tells her to hurry up and pick everything off the ground. She's still a bit stunned, looking at the spilled contents. She can't quite comprehend what she's seeing, wondering why everything rolled around. She picks up a head of crisp green lettuce, eyes wide with disbelief and wonder. "Oh my God, these are vegetables," she cries out. Lai Lu is absolutely screaming in shock. Her mind is blown that Chen Yang's organization can actually grow fresh vegetables. And our boy? He's just there, smirking, enjoying her reaction. Back in the modern world, Chen Yang looks out his window, planning his next moves. He's handing off the company registration to an agency, and next up is hiring staff. But first, he needs to make another trip to the wasteland, realizing he should stock up on even more food for his burgeoning operation. He pushes his shopping cart through a supermarket, realizing that since the wasteland is essentially 200 years in his future, he needs to be careful about what he brings back. No more flimsy snacks. He grabs a bag of chips and notices the production date. He can't have people with bad intentions noticing something like that. Time paradoxes are no joke. The squeak of his shopping cart wheel is a subtle hint of his mind working overtime, thinking about the implications of his cross-time endeavors. Our boy is on a mission, wheeling his cart through the aisles of the supermarket, making his way to the fresh food section. He approaches the meat counter, and a friendly sales lady greets him, asking what she can get for the handsome customer. Chen Yang, without batting an eye, calmly requests a whopping 25 kilos of pork. That's not just a family dinner, that's a feast. The poor saleslady's face absolutely pales. Her eyes are wide with shock, her jaw dropped. She can't believe the sheer amount he just asked for. Our boy, completely unfazed, just smiles, thinking that should about do it. He decides he'll just take all this, implying an even larger shopping spree. And oh boy, he means it. His cart is overflowing with potatoes, corn, and Chinese cabbage, all in massive quantities. He's thinking about feeding an army. Back at his apartment, Chen Yang grunts, struggling to carry the towering stack of boxes through his doorway. All that food is a lot of weight, even for him. He finally drops the heavy boxes with a thud, clearly feeling the strain. He leans against the stack, catching his breath. He acknowledges his enhanced physique makes the weight nothing, but the constant hauling back and forth is just too much hassle. He wipes his brow, exhausted. He realizes this small amount is fine for now, but once his company scales up to feed dozens or even hundreds, he can't possibly carry it all by hand. Suddenly, his eyes dart to his hand where his ring is faintly glowing. He looks confused. "HM, what's going on now?" And just like that, the massive stack of boxes vanishes in a blinding flash of light. Gone in an instant. Chen Yang stares, bewildered at the empty space where the boxes once were. "What's going on?" he exclaims, totally stumped. He looks back at his glowing ring, a thought dawning on him. Don't tell me. He's connecting the dots, a huge realization slowly clicking into place. He closes his eyes, deep in thought. The implications of what just happened are massive, and he's processing it all. And get this, the boxes are now floating in a surreal, glowing green dimension. They are literally inside the ring, mind blown, right? Our boy strikes a confident pose, a huge grin spreading across his face. Just as I thought, it's inside the ring. He just discovered a new, incredible power. Close up on his ecstatic smile, he's absolutely thrilled by this revelation. This changes everything. Back in his room, Chen Yang stands confidently. He knows exactly what to do with this newfound ability. With a simple gesture, he commands retrieve, and the boxes reappear in a flash of light. He's got an inventory system now. A sly smirk plays on his lips as he looks up, realizing the ring doesn't just let him travel between worlds. This spatial storage ability is a game changer for his plans. Just like that, our boy Chen Yang, with his brand new inventory system, is trying to pay his new secretary in what he thinks is casual currency, just Chinese cabbage. But the girl is absolutely shocked, like, "Bro, do you even know what you're holding?" She's practically tearing up as she explains that after the Great Cataclysm, the soil is so polluted that vegetables just can't survive anymore. This isn't just cabbage, it's a literal treasure. Chen Yang, completely clueless about the extreme scarcity, just smiles and says, "All right, stop crying. If you like them, I'll just give them all to you. It's no big deal." The pure innocence, or maybe ignorance, is hilarious. Her eyes widen, sparkles appearing around her, utterly flustered by his casual generosity. She can't believe he just offered her something so incredibly valuable like it's nothing. She's holding the cabbage like it's a precious gem, still reeling from the shock. This man's really out here giving away gold like it's pocket change. She tries to give it back, explaining that these vegetables are too precious, and she can't even judge their true value. She just can't accept them as a simple gift. Then she hits him with the good person card, saying since she's his employee, she can only take what she deserves as payment. Our boy is just standing there, getting lectured by his own secretary. Chen Yang is clearly annoyed, thinking, a sudden good person card. But then he quickly pivots, deciding that actual food is a much more suitable payment for her than whatever else he was planning. He even offers her some delicious-looking meat, still smiling. He really knows how to motivate his employees, huh? But then that smile turns into a classic evil genius smirk. He warns her that if he's providing these amazing goods, her service quality better keep up. He's got expectations, people. She's completely charmed, bowing slightly and promising to do her utmost to satisfy him. She knows a good deal when she sees one. Chen Yang clarifies their relationship again, making sure she understands that she's his personal secretary, meant to act as his assistant and answer his questions. He's setting clear boundaries, or so he thinks. She's a bit shy, doing the finger-touching gesture, but confidently says, "I understand." You can tell she's a little flustered, but ready to get to work. Our boy then reveals his next move. He didn't just bring food, he needs her to help him hire more hands. He's building an empire, one employee at a time. She's surprised, asking if he has any specific requirements. She knows this is a big step for their little operation. Chen Yang lists his criteria: high loyalty and special abilities. He's looking for quality, not just quantity. She immediately thinks of Grey Rat Town, mentioning that there are about 10,000 survivors there. She's confident they can find people with any special ability he needs. Chen Yang then asks about the relationship between their settlement, Grey Rat District D, and Grey Rat Town. He's curious about the local power dynamics. She smiles, her eyes sparkling, ready to explain the lay of the land. It's clear she's proud of her knowledge of the region. She pulls out a map, explaining that Gray Rat Town is the central hub, surrounded by 12 smaller settlements, creatively named a through L. Gotta love the post-apocalyptic urban planning. She clarifies that all these settlements rely on Gray Rat Town to survive, exchanging for scarce supplies. It's a whole ecosystem of survival, folks. Then Chen Yang drops a bomb. He needs programmers, specifically those who can make games. His plans are way bigger than just building a simple base. She's completely baffled, her eyes wide as saucers. Computer. It's like he's speaking an ancient, forbidden language to her. She brings up a holographic image of an old desktop computer, asking if he means that primitive product from ancient times. Oh, the irony. Chen Yang's cutting-edge tech from his world is ancient history here. He lets out a small laugh, realizing how out of touch his request is for this world. He forgot how much technology has advanced, or rather declined, since the Cataclysm. She explains that before the Cataclysm, they were already using Intel brains, whatever those are. She looks completely perplexed by his seemingly simple request. But then, a light bulb moment. She remembers there's a pre-Cataclysm technical director in their camp who knows Intel brain technology extremely well. This could be their guy. She's so excited, she grabs Chen Yang's hand and literally drags him along, saying, "Let's go, it'll take you to ask." She's got energy for days, man. Our boy is screaming, his tongue sticking out, trying to protest that he can walk himself. But there's no stopping her once she gets an idea in her head. They walk through the settlement, and Chen Yang notices that none of the doors are locked. He's baffled by this level of trust, or perhaps desperation. She explains that everyone is dirt poor, there's nothing valuable to steal. Survival in the wasteland relies on unity, so stealing is practically a death sentence. Anyone who steals or breaks that unity gets expelled by all settlements. It's a harsh world, and they enforce strict rules for survival. They arrive at a rundown building, silent and almost eerie. The atmosphere is tense, like something is waiting inside. She confidently states, "We're here, the person is right here." Chen Yang eyes the building with a hint of suspicion. Suddenly, a chilling silhouette of a man with an axe appears against a blood-red background, chanting, "Yummy meat, meat." What in the actual apocalypse is going on in there? A disturbing thud and a scream fill the air, making it clear that something gruesome is happening behind that curtain. This place just went from eerie to terrifying, real quick. They walk inside and the girl immediately says, "Yua," but then asks for Uncle Y. Our boy is just looking around, clearly uncomfortable with the vibe. Uncle Y, a scientist-looking dude with crazy white hair and a monocle, bursts through the curtains with a bloodied axe, grinning like a maniac. He proudly announces he just caught a fat one for little Lou. He leans in close, his eyes gleaming with mad energy, promising to share the 2 hind legs after he's done processing it. This guy is something else, man. Little Lou happily agrees, but Chen Yang is completely horrified, asking, "Hey, what are you guys discussing?" He's clearly not on the same wavelength as these two. And there it is, a giant, grotesque gray rat lying on the ground. Chen Yang finally connects the dots. They are eating mutant rats. He's absolutely disgusted. He stares at the creature, asking if it is a mutated creature. His face shows a mixture of shock and revulsion. He's definitely not used to this kind of menu. Little Lou just smiles, explaining that besides zombies, these giant rats are the most common mutant creatures, growing to 1/2 meter long, and are their main source of meat. Survival is bleak, folks. Little Lou then introduces Chen Yang as her boss to Uncle Y, explaining that he wants to hire some people and is offering very generous pay. She's doing her best to sell our boy. Uncle Y's hand is shown, perhaps twitching or gesturing, indicating he's listening intently, perhaps already calculating the potential gains. Uncle Y sizes up Chen Yang, skeptical that a young kid like him could offer generous remuneration. He's immediately suspicious, wondering if Chen Yang is a scammer. Chen Yang doesn't miss a beat, explaining that he needs technical talent in the cerebral field. He's keeping his cards close to his chest for now. Then he drops the offer, 30 catties of rice and flour and 10 catties of raw meat every month, as long as they meet his requirements. This is a fortune in this world. Uncle Y is absolutely flabbergasted, his eye bulging out. Rice? Flour? Are you serious? He can't believe what he's hearing. These are unheard of riches. Chen Yang just smiles, offering to advance the salary if he's worried. He's really good at sealing the deal, knowing exactly what motivates people in this post-apocalyptic era. Both little Lou and Uncle Y are wide-eyed, completely stunned. Really? It's almost too good to be true for them. Little Lou quickly reassures Uncle Y that as long as the boss nods, she can give him the meat immediately. She's totally on board and ready to facilitate. Uncle Y is completely sold, grabbing Chen Yong's hand and laughing hysterically. He proclaims himself the best at Intel brains in District D. He thinks he's exactly what Chen Yong needs. But Chen Yong gently corrects him, smiling, saying that what he wants has nothing to do with Intel brains. Oh, Uncle Y's ego just took a hit. He then asks, do you know computers? The kind of personal computers from ancient times. The question hangs in the air, setting up a huge reveal. Chen Yong explains that he actually needs someone who understands that primitive technology. He's really pushing the narrative that old tech is new tech here. Uncle Y is absolutely aghast, eyes wide and jaw dropped. Computer. This is the ultimate cliffhanger, because it implies his advanced Intel brain knowledge might be completely useless for Chen Yong's true purpose. Uncle Y is still stuck on the idea of ancient computers being primitive, thinking they have no value whatsoever. Oh boy, he has no idea what our protagonist is about to unleash. Our boy Chen Yong just gives him this surprised, almost amused look. Clearly, Uncle Y is way out of his depth here. But Uncle Y, ever the eccentric genius, suddenly has a realization. He can't give up on the essentials, you know, rice, flour, raw meat. The simple things in life are what truly matter to him. And just like that, Chen Yong erupts into a full-blown laugh. He's found his man, folks. This eccentric genius is exactly what he needs. So, with a plan forming, our protagonist heads home. The door creaks open, signaling his arrival. He walks into his apartment, feeling all smug and happy, thinking about how easy it is to get things done when you have a bit of power. Oh, the innocence. Meanwhile, his sister Shuya is just chilling on the couch, lost in her phone, probably planning her next meal. She's totally oblivious to Chen Yong's arrival. And just like that, our boy Chen Yong gets a sudden nosebleed. Why, you ask? Well, you can probably guess. Shuya suddenly snaps her head up, catching sight of him. Her face just absolutely screams panic. She cannot believe he just walked in on her like this. She immediately grabs a pillow, covers herself up, and yells at him, calling him a pervert. Our boy definitely got caught red-handed there. Her face is completely flushed, eyes wide with embarrassment and anger. It's a classic sibling dynamic, amplified by pure surprise. Chen Yong, ever the smooth operator, just acts like he was there the whole time, like she just misremembered. Seriously, dude. He makes a quick exit, practically bolting out the door, but not before promising her dinner tonight. Gotta make up for that awkward encounter, right? Shuya watches him leave, muttering about men being big pig trotters. Oh, the disdain. But you know she's got a point after that stunt. Now out and about, Chen Yong thinks about Shuya failing her audition and realizes she's working part-time at Computer City. Lightbulb moment, he can get a computer there. He arrives at Computer City, marked by a somewhat quirky alien logo. Seems like a bustling tech hub. Inside, our girl Shuya is working the counter, looking utterly annoyed. Some greasy dude is trying to flirt with her, calling her beauty and making unwanted suggestions. He leans in, making her visibly uncomfortable. Our girl just wants to do her job, but this dude is not taking the hint. She's barely holding back a yell, her anger practically radiating off her. You can almost see the steam coming out of her ears. Flashback time. Our boy, Shuya, and Uncle Y are in chibai form as Chen Yong explains his simple requirements for the computer and software. He just needs a computer to program and create software, nothing more, nothing less. Simple as that. He confirms to Uncle Y no need when asked if he needs to design super AI core algorithms. Keep it basic, folks. Uncle Y's face lights up. If that's all, then there's 100% no problem. His ego is fully restored now that he's back in his element. He beams, confidence beaming, saying that if the hardware conditions permit, he can absolutely fulfill all the programming requirements. He's so ready to show off. But wait, Uncle Y raises a valid point. Software made on a computer isn't compatible with an Intel brain. What is Chen Yong even going to use it for? Chen Yong just smiles, brushing off the concern. You don't need to worry about that, he tells the old man. Classic boss move. He puts a hand on Uncle Y's shoulder, giving him a knowing look. A truly good employee completes the task 100% without asking why. Uncle Y, completely bought in, instantly agrees, saying he understood, fully understood. This guy is putty in Chen Yong's hands. Chen Yong then promises to solve the hardware issue and asks if there are any other requirements. He's making sure all his bases are covered. He assures Uncle Y that he won't be lacking in food either. Basically, he wants Uncle Y completely focused on the task, no distractions. Uncle Y then adds a request. It would be best to also have an Intel brain for assistance. His eyes gleam with scientific curiosity. He explains that developing complex code with an Intel brain and then transplanting it to the computer would be much faster. Even the lowest specs would do. Chen Yang understands, promising to figure out a way. The trio prepares to leave the dilapidated lab. Our boy Chen Yang waves, telling Uncle Y to come along. Shuya, still in her role, waves goodbye to her boss. Out on the streets, Shuya asks Chen Yang if an Intel brain is easy to get. She's genuinely curious and probably a bit worried. She tells him that there aren't any in District D, but he can buy one in Grey Rat Town. The catch? It's just a bit expensive. Our boy Chen Yang's face absolutely drops. Expensive. For him, he looks utterly distraught by the idea of something being expensive. Shuya quickly reassures him, saying it's expensive for them, but for him, buying 100 units would be more than enough. Talk about a confidence boost. That makes our boy smile again. He then casually asks if enhancement serums can also be bought in Grey Rat Town. Always thinking ahead, this one. Shuya explains that Grey Rat Town only has Tier 1 and 2 serums. For the higher tier stuff, he needs to go to the Doctors Association distribution point in the east. Chen Yang looks at her, a puzzled expression on his face. Doctors Association. He clearly has no idea what that is. And just like that, we get a dramatic reveal of enhancement serums and a squad of serious-looking individuals. This is the Doctors Association, folks. Intense stuff. Shuya is genuinely surprised he doesn't know. Boss, you didn't know? She thought everyone knew about something so prominent. Chen Yang gives a light-hearted smile, explaining that his organization has always been self-sufficient. He basically knows nothing about the outside world. This guy is a total recluse, apparently. Anyway, he tells her he also needs her to go to the Doctors Association to buy a batch of enhancement serums. Multitasking queen. Our Shuya. She readily agrees, a confident no problem, on her lips. She really is a loyal and capable assistant. He tells her he'll go back first to get a computer for Uncle Y, leaving the rest to her. She confirms with an understood. But wait, there's one more thing. Chen Yang stops her, saying there's something else he needs to instruct her on. He stands there, looking down at her with a serious expression. What kind of instructions could these be? Shuya looks up at him, her expression turning somber, then she quietly nods. The chapter ends with a sense of impending action and a new mission for our capable assistant. What will she do next? Her expression changed to annoyed, frustrated that this dude won't just take no for an answer. But then a voice calls out to Shuya, addressing her as Miss Sales' associate. And look who it is, our main boy, Chen Yang. He's here, all smiles, and Shuya is definitely relieved to see him. She immediately turns to him, exclaiming thank goodness he's here to rescue her from the annoying fatty who won't quit. Meanwhile, in a completely different part of town, this shady-looking dude with red eyes and goggles tries to barter with someone. But our red-haired girl isn't having it. She just walks past, giving a cold refusal. The two men at the counter wonder if they should follow her, but the other guy quickly dismisses it, saying she's not worth the trouble. Little do they know what she's carrying. Our girl dashes off, her cloak flapping in the wind, a massive bag strapped to her back. She lets out a sigh of relief, thinking to herself that was a close call. She almost got exposed. She knew if anyone saw the rare cabbage she was carrying, the entire settlement would go absolutely crazy trying to get their hands on it. Finally, she arrives at her destination, a rugged, almost post-apocalyptic-looking building. Inside, a laid-back-looking man greets her, welcoming her to his establishment. He gestures around, telling her to look around for whatever she wants. Our girl checks out the available serums, but quickly dismisses them as too basic. She wants something higher grade, something with real power. The man smirks, informing her that high-grade serums were not something A. She then pulls out the legendary cabbage she's been carrying, completely stunning him. He stares, his eyes wide, clearly recognizing the immense value of this rare vegetable. Back with Chen Yang, he asks Shuya if the customer was bargaining too aggressively. Oh no, Shuya explains that this pervy dude was trying to get her to drink with him, all because he was buying an 8,000 yuan computer. She was not amused. She crosses her arms, demanding to know why Chen Yang is even here, not just to watch her struggle. Our protagonist grins, pointing to a high-end graphics card. He's got bigger plans. Chen Yang then spells it out. He needs a top-spec desktop with a 5090 and all the fixings for Uncle Y. Shuya is kinda confused, reminding him that the highest spec in the shop costs 100,000 yuan, and he's opening a company, not a gaming cafe. But Chen Yang clarifies he needs a powerful machine to test his software's load limit. Shuya agrees, heading off to get the parts. She walks into the back, disappearing behind a door to gather the high-end components. And here comes the fatty from before, smirking, thinking he can now flex on Chen Yang. He tries to act friendly, asking Chen Yang what he's buying and what his budget is. Chen Yang just points to the most expensive computer on display, casually dropping the 103,000 yuan price tag. The fat man's jaw drops. His eyes practically pop out of his head. He can't believe it. Just then, Shuya rolls out a giant box on a cart, announcing that Chen Yang's computer is ready. She confirms the price, a staggering 103,000 yuan, and asks for payment. The fatty is completely flabbergasted. Our boy coolly scans his phone to pay. The payment goes through, shocking the fatty beyond belief. Chen Yang then turns to the now stunned fatty, mockingly asking if he still wants to drink with him. That's some epic trolling. The fatty just turns around and bolts, running away in utter embarrassment and defeat. Man, Chen Yang just owned him. In another part of the city, our red-haired girl continues her journey, but she's quickly cornered by a group of menacing-looking thugs. One of them, a dude with a cybernetic arm and a creepy smile, suggests she dismisses them again, stating she was not interested and tries to walk past. But these goons are persistent, eyeing her bulging backpack, thinking she's hiding some valuable loot. Our girl has had enough. She sharply tells them to get lost, and then she flashes her hip-mounted weapon, giving them a chilling warning to not make her get nasty. The first thug makes A. The other thug is shocked, realizing she's actually carrying a weapon. Looks like they underestimated her. She gives them one last defiant HMPH before continuing on her way. She thinks to herself that she absolutely cannot show any weakness, or these hyenas would tear her to pieces. She arrives back at the shop with the two craftsmen. Our girl walks up to the counter and asks for an. The craftsman with the goggles explains the basic model costs 15 kilograms of gray rat meat, and a plug-in is an extra 5 kilograms. Our girl doesn't hesitate. She says she will take the basic model and hefts her heavy backpack onto the counter. The craftsman checks the weight, impressed that it is more than sufficient. He then hands her a sleek hexagonal device. Our girl takes the Intel brain, her mission almost complete. What will she do with this powerful new gadget? Our girl just got her Intel brain, and suddenly, the craftsman, the dude who just sold it to her, looks absolutely stunned by something she just did or said. And just like that, our girl is in motion, a blur of speed as she lunges past him, a dangerous glint in her eyes. She looks genuinely surprised by her own speed. Man, that Intel brain must be kicking in already, giving her some serious upgrades. A quick glance at her side reveals her trusty rifle, ready to go. She's not playing around. She spins around, leveling her weapon at the craftsman, demanding to know what exactly he thinks he's doing. Talk about intense negotiation tactics. But the craftsman just smiles, hands spread wide, claiming he means no harm. But seriously, who believes that innocent act? Our protagonist, ever the strategist, starts to weigh his options. Should he get a warehouse or maybe a food factory? Big decisions for big plans. For now, he decides a private warehouse is the smarter play. Got to keep those supplies safe, you know. But a long-term plan means partnering with a food factory. Think of the variety. Rice, canned goods, spicy strips. He's already dreaming of a full pantry. Back in the present, the craftsman unleashes a surge of blue energy, casually dismissing her gun. He reveals he's a Tier 9 enhanced. What? A Tier 9 in Grey Rat Town. Our girl is absolutely flabbergasted. She can't wrap her head around why a medical association Tier 9 distributor would be wasting his time in a backwater like this. The craftsman just gives a knowing smirk, saying that in the wasteland nothing is impossible. And he makes a very good point. Then, out of nowhere, he points at the cabbage she's carrying. He wants a closer look at her precious green treasure. Our girl looks at him with suspicion. Should she let him inspect it? She's clearly hesitant. But once he gets his hands on it, he completely loses it. The freshness, the color, the lack of radiation. It's a real, fresh cabbage. This dude is obsessed. He literally worships the cabbage, calling it an absolute miracle. You know things are dire in this world when a vegetable gets this kind of reaction. Seizing the opportunity, our girl demands an enhancement serum of equal value. She's quick, and she knows the true worth of her loot. The craftsman snaps back, accusing her of extortion. He doesn't appreciate being played, even though he's probably been playing everyone else. But our girl stands her ground. She reminds him that vegetables can't be grown in this wasteland, so he knows exactly how valuable that cabbage is. He admits he knows its scarcity gives it value, but he's still trying to act tough, trying to control the negotiation. He gives her a sly look, saying he doesn't want to partner with a scheming opportunist. But look at him, he's the king of schemes. Our girl just grins, promising she's more than sincere about making this deal. Oh, she is definitely scheming, and she knows it. The craftsman finally relents, slamming his hand down on the counter. Looks like our girl won this round. He decides to show his own sincerity by revealing a holographic display of incredible tech, serums, and shiny bio-armor. Talk about eye candy. First up, he presents a complete set of Tier 1 to Tier 6 enhancement serums. That's a massive upgrade package right there. And get this, he also offers a healing serum capable of curing any disease caused by cellular mutation. This is seriously high-end medical tech. But the main event? A brand new, latest model carbon fiber bio-armor. This thing looks indestructible and so cool. Our girl's eyes light up, almost sparkling with greed. She thinks all these amazing goodies are for her. She's practically drooling. But the craftsman in his chibi form delivers the ultimate punchline. Of course not. Oof, harsh but hilarious. Our girl is instantly deflated. Her dreams of all that gear vanish as she learns she only gets the 2 serums. Classic bait and switch. She throws her hands up, demanding to know why he even bothered showing her the armor if she couldn't have it. She's so frustrated. He gives a chilling smile, revealing his true intentions. He was just preparing for their second trade. This dude is always 10 steps ahead. He slams his hand down again, setting the stage for the next negotiation. He means business. If she wants the armor, she's going to have to bring him more cabbages or other vegetables. He's really pushing for a steady supply. Our girl is utterly shocked. How in the world does he know she has more vegetables? Her big secret is out. The craftsman, ever the detective, explains. That perfect cabbage couldn't have been a random fluke. He's too smart to fall for that. He logically deduces that a faction capable of growing such perfect vegetables wouldn't just produce one. She's clearly part of a group with serious agricultural skills. Our girl tries to lie, claiming she just found it in ruins from before the Great Cataclysm. A desperate attempt to cover her tracks, but the craftsman just smiles. He asks if she truly believes ruins would only preserve one cabbage. He's completely seen through her flimsy excuse. He advises her to hurry back and discuss it with the others, cementing his knowledge that she's not working alone. He calmly explains that for her people, vegetables aren't nearly as useful as a suit of armor. He understands their priorities and what they need to survive. Our girl, defeated but determined, finally agrees. She's frustrated, but she knows she needs that armor. She tells him to hold onto the armor, promising to be back as soon as she can. The chase for veggies is officially on. The craftsman leans back in his chair, admiring his precious cabbage. He reflects on his exile to this god-forsaken place, but he smiles, calling it a blessing in disguise because it led him to these incredibly valuable vegetables. She's just a means to an end for him. Meanwhile, the story cuts to our boy in his male form, in a surprisingly modern-looking supermarket alley. What a change of scenery. He stands casually beside a massive delivery truck, waiting for his goods. A delivery man approaches, confirming the order for Mr. Chen. So our boy has a name now, folks, Mr. Chen. Mr. Chen coolly points to the empty alley, instructing them to unload the boxes right there. He's got a plan. The delivery guys are whispering, wondering why he's buying over 20 grand worth of meat all at once. That's a huge haul. One of the delivery men shuts the other down, telling him to mind his own business. Some things are better left unquestioned. The truck pulls away, leaving Mr. Chen surrounded by an imposing stack of boxes. That is a lot of meat. He notes that this alley is usually empty and lacks security cameras, perfect for his mysterious activities. Otherwise, he ponders, he wouldn't have known where to put all this stuff. He's clearly operating under the radar. Suddenly, the boxes begin to shimmer and glow with a mysterious energy, as if they are about to vanish into thin air. And just like that, poof, all the boxes are gone. Our boy just made $20,000 worth of meat disappear. Amazing, but he realizes this isn't a long-term solution. With such massive quantities, someone is bound to spot him sooner or later. He worries that if he ends up trending online again, the internet will dox him until he has nothing left to hide. Cliffhanger. What did our boy do to trend online before? Our boy is still testing out his new spatial storage, confirming that time truly stands still inside. This is a massive cheat code. He puts it to the ultimate test, pulling out a perfectly preserved ice pop. The steam rising off it shows it was frozen solid when he stored it. He realizes the implications. No more worrying about food spoiling. He can store tons of fresh food indefinitely, which is just insane. Our boy just casually enjoying his perfectly preserved ice pop in the middle of the street. Bell sounds means he's ringing it like an ice cream truck. And get this, he gets a call. Turns out he just registered his own company, Chengxian Technology, officially complete. This dude moves fast. He's thinking about that enhancement serum from the wasteland. He knows there has to be a way to use it. This is where his company comes in. He walks away from the building, absolutely pumped. His career has officially begun and he feels unstoppable. Good for him. He heads back home, walking into his apartment and calling out that he's back. His roommate, Dandan, is there. Dandan immediately asks him what he was rushing off for. She's curious about his sudden, mysterious outing. She thinks he went to an interview, probably expecting him to still be job hunting. She has no clue about his big plans. Our boy casually drops a bomb, telling her he started his own company and doesn't need to job hunt anymore. The look on his face is so smug. Dandan is absolutely floored. Her jaw drops, she can't believe what she's hearing. A company, him. She gives him a suspicious glare, accusing him of thinking she's gullible enough to believe that. She thinks he's messing with her. Our boy, in a cute chibai form, quickly explains his family home got bought out for redevelopment. So that's where the sudden cash came from. Dandan puts it all together. That's why he was so generous last night, treating her to a fancy hotel. He hit the jackpot for real. She sighs, sitting down, feeling a bit envious. She's like, man, you are so lucky to get that kind of payout. She laments that even if her own hometown was redeveloped, she wouldn't get nearly as much money. The struggle is real for her. Our boy suddenly covers his nose, then out of nowhere asks her about her current salary. What is he cooking up now? She tells him her take-home pay is only a little over $5,000, barely enough to survive without company-provided meals. It's a tough life. In a cute chibai form, Dandan desperately wishes for heaven to open its eyes and let her get rich overnight too. She's so over her current situation. Our boy flashes a confident smile, telling her that getting rich overnight is probably out of the question for most people. But then he makes a bold move. He suggests she consider coming to work for his brand new company. Is he serious? He then sweetens the deal, offering her triple her current salary. That's a game changer, triple salary out of nowhere. Our boy just stands there, extending his hand with a charming smile. He knows he just dropped a bombshell. Dandan is absolutely stunned. 15,000. Her mind is blown by the sheer number. This is life-changing money. In her chibai thought bubble, she calculates that she could save almost 100 grand a year if she's frugal. Financial freedom is calling. Her excitement boils over. She imagines eating hot pot whenever she wants and buying designer bags. All her dreams are within reach. Our boy is a little surprised by her sudden enthusiastic reaction. He asks if that means she agrees to join his company. But Dandan, ever the pragmatist, pulls back. Not yet. She worries his company could go bankrupt in just a few days. She's cautious. She makes it clear she needs him to tell her all about the company first. She's going to make a proper judgment call before deciding. She pulls out a pen, ready to take notes. She's not just going to jump at the money, she needs details and a solid plan. Our boy explains his company was just registered today with a capital of 1 million, focusing on PC and mobile games. She just nods along. Dandan closes her eyes in thought, finding his company sounds too sketchy. Besides the money, he literally has nothing else, she thinks. She challenges him, asking if a gaming company doesn't need R&D funding or a tech team. She knows how these things work. Our boy just grins confidently, assuring her not to worry. He says that is exactly their company's biggest competitive advantage. What could it be? Dandan turns, already thinking about the pressing tasks. Finding an office, arranging game licenses. She's practically on board. Our boy looks a bit confused, asking her where she's going in such a hurry. Dandan confidently declares she's going to quit her job. Duh. She's fully committed and ready to dive into his new venture. Our boy is overcome with emotion, fake crying tears of gratitude. Her genuine support through action deeply touches him. Suddenly, his phone rings, interrupting the moment of celebration. He answers with a cheerful hello, probably still high on Dandan's support and his new company. But that smile won't last. His expression immediately changes to one of distress as he listens. He ends the call saying, "Okay, I understand." Dandan looks worried. Dandan immediately sees the change in his demeanor. She asks if something awful happened, noticing his troubled look. Our boy clenches his fists, eyes filled with pain. He reveals his grandpa has been diagnosed with terminal liver cancer. The news hits hard. The doctor gave his grandpa only about a month left. His grandpa in a hospital bed, surrounded by grieving family. This is devastating. He looks at his grandpa's frail form, realizing he has to go back and see him one last time. His heart is heavy. Dandan steps up, telling him to hurry and pack his things and buy the earliest ticket to head back home. She's all about supporting him. She puts a comforting hand on his back, reassuring him that she will take care of everything on the company's end. She's got his back. Our boy turns, offering a genuine, thankful smile. He says, "Dandon, thank you." He's truly grateful for her support during this tough time. Dandon looks a bit surprised, maybe a little flustered by his gratitude. But as he reaches the door, he stops dead in his tracks. A new thought hits him. No, I absolutely can't let Grandpa pass away just like this. Our boy is heading out, the heavy realization about his grandpa still weighing on him, but with Dandon's support giving him strength. Next thing we know, he's at the high-speed rail station, ticket in hand, preparing for his journey home. And get this, a bubbly blonde girl with pigtails and a pink suitcase pops up, looking super excited to see someone. She totally recognizes our protagonist, Chen Yang. They were classmates, and she can't believe it's been 7 years since they last saw each other. Our boy, always cool, just nods and confirms. Yeah, it really has been that long. Suddenly, an announcement blares over the speakers, letting everyone know that ticket inspection for the high-speed train is about to begin. They both acknowledge it, probably thinking about heading to their seats. But this girl has other plans, clearly. She immediately asks our protagonist where he's sitting, already planning to badger someone into swapping seats so they can sit together. That's dedication. Our protagonist flashes his business class ticket, explaining he bought it last minute and those were the only seats left. Talk about a flex. She looks a bit crestfallen, realizing the dream of sitting together might be harder than she thought. Yeah, she's definitely bummed out, her happy mood taking a hit. Business class is a whole other level after all. But hold up, our boy Chen Yang has this confident smirk on his face, like he's just cooked up a brilliant plan. She looks totally confused, asking what he's thinking as he tells her to just wait a second. The suspense is real. She's practically yelling, asking where he's going as he just walks away, leaving her hanging there. This dude, seriously. He calmly walks up to a staff member and asks if there are any business class seats still available. What's he cooking up now? The staff member confirms his row is completely empty, saying he's the only one who booked a seat there. Jackpot. And just like that, our boy turns around, confidently telling the staff to upgrade his classmate's ticket and he'll cover the cost. He even wants her right next to him. What a king move. She's completely stunned, her eyes wide as saucers in a classic Chibai reaction. She can't believe her ears. The staff hands her the new ticket, and she looks at it with pure disbelief and a hint of wonder. Dreams do come true, folks. She rushes to him, giving him a huge, thankful hug, practically jumping into his arms. She's just overflowing with gratitude, calling out his name. Our protagonist is a little taken aback, a bit red-faced, asking what's wrong. You know, just a casual hug from an old classmate. Nothing to see here. The story continues. A short while later, they're both comfortably seated in business class. She's absolutely gushing about how spacious and amazing it is, saying it's her first time. Then she gets curious, asking why he, who works in the imperial capital, is suddenly making a trip back to Wangai. He tells her the heavy truth that his grandpa fell ill. You can almost feel the sadness in his voice. She quickly tries to comfort him, patting his arm and reassuring him that modern medical technology is advanced, so he'll definitely recover. Such a sweet gesture. Our boy then turns the question back on her, asking what brings her to the imperial capital. Curiosity piqued right. She explains with a bit of a shy look that she came to drum up some business for her dad's factory. A responsible daughter, we love to see it. Our protagonist remembers her dad runs a food processing factory. The wheels in his head are probably already turning. She goes on, explaining that things have been tough because everyone prefers big-name brands these days. It's a real struggle for small businesses, and it gets worse. She reveals they've been losing money and can barely afford to pay their workers anymore. Man, that's rough. Our protagonist listens intently, a thoughtful expression on his face. He's clearly seeing an opportunity here, not just for her, but for himself too. He thinks to himself that this isn't just about helping an old classmate, but it's also a perfect way to strengthen his wasteland faction. 2 birds, 1 stone. With a confident smile, he tells her he might be able to help her out. This dude is always full of surprises. She's immediately intrigued, asking how. And he drops the bomb. He happens to be looking for a food factory for a long-term supply contract. Is this fate or what? She's absolutely overjoyed, her face lighting up with sparkling eyes and a huge smile. This could be the answer to all their problems. He confirms it, but adds that he'll need to do a site inspection first. She's quick to agree, no problem at all. This deal is practically sealed. But then a question hits her. How can he, a recent college graduate like her, need such a massive order? She's clearly thinking this is a bit too good to be true. Our boy plays it cool, with a slight knowing smile, mentioning he started his own company, and his business partners have a demand for this kind of thing. Smooth cover. They decide to exchange contact info, solidifying this new business connection. And who knows, maybe more than just business, eh? They both pull out their phones, exchanging numbers. You know it's official when the contacts are saved. Later at the station, our protagonist tells her he needs to visit his grandpa first, so the inspection might have to wait a couple of days. She totally understands. He then hops into a waiting taxi, ready to head straight to his family. She waves him off with a cheerful bye-bye, a warm smile on her face. Her day definitely took an unexpected and amazing turn. She's practically glowing, looking at her phone with pure happiness. Not only did she reconnect with an old friend, but she also landed a massive business opportunity. Suddenly, she hears someone call her name, Churin, and looks up to see a car pull up, a man waving from inside. She quickly rolls her pink suitcase, hurrying towards the car. Her dad must be here to pick her up. She gets into the car, greeting her dad warmly. Time to tell him the good news and the bad. Her dad immediately asks about the business talks. She tells him she has both good news and bad news. Oh boy, here we go. He asks for the bad news first, bracing himself. Always best to get that out of the way. She delivers the bad news with a confident smile, saying she didn't find a single partner in the imperial capital. Wait, why is she smiling about bad news? Her dad, a little confused, asks about the good news then. His expression is like, okay, spill it, kid. And she does. She happily tells him about running into her old classmate, Chen Yang, and how he just happened to have a massive order for them. He's even coming to inspect the factory in a couple of days. But her dad's face immediately turns suspicious. An old classmate, a massive order. He thinks it sounds like a scam and warns her to be careful. Oh no, dad mode activated. What will happen with this inspection?